Ladies, listen to me for a second. If a man is truly falling in love with you, I need you to hear this clearly and hold on to it. It is not just the sweet morning text. It is not just the flowers. It is not even the fact that he says he misses you or wants to see you. The biggest sign, the one almost every man shows when this becomes real, is consistency mixed with real consideration. Not random attention, not easy access, consideration. He begins to move like your feelings matter. He begins to act like your presence has weight in his life. He starts making choices with you in mind before you ever have to ask. And if you have been staring at your phone, reading every emoji like it is a secret code, wondering whether he is serious or just lonely and bored, baby, that guessing game can end today, because once you understand this sign, everything becomes clearer. You stop chasing. You stop shrinking. You stop calling crumbs a feast. Stay with me, because this part matters. A lot of women get tricked in the early stage because a man can perform excitement without carrying real intention. He can be charming. He can be funny. He can make your stomach flip with one late night message. He can call you beautiful. He can look at you like you are the only woman in the room. But hear me carefully. Excitement is easy. Desire is easy. Access is easy. Love is not easy. Love costs him something, and that is why when it starts getting real, his behavior changes. When a man is just enjoying the moment, he will give what is convenient, what fits his mood, what works when he feels like reaching out. But when he starts falling in love, convenience begins to lose its power over him. He becomes steady, he becomes thoughtful. He starts showing up in ways that interrupt his selfish habits. That is the sign, not the speech, the shift, not the promise, the pattern, not the chemistry, the character. You know the difference, even if you have tried to talk yourself out of it before. A man who is simply intrigued by you will enjoy you. A man who is attracted to you will chase moments with you. But a man who is falling in love starts protecting the connection itself. He wants the bond to stay strong. He does not want silly carelessness to damage what the two of you are building. That means he becomes more careful with his words. He follows through more often. He becomes more aware of the effect he has on you. He notices if something he did made you feel dismissed, confused, or unimportant. And instead of saying you are overthinking, he tries to close the gap. That is consideration. That is emotional seriousness in action. So if you want to know whether this is getting real for him, stop looking only at how intense he seems. Start watching how responsible he becomes with your heart. Because intensity can be loud and still mean nothing. Real feeling becomes visible in the way he handles you when no one is forcing him to, and when nobody is handing him a reward for it. Let me take this deeper, because this is where many women miss it. When feelings get stronger for a man, his focus starts changing. He is not only thinking about how you make him feel in the moment, he starts thinking about your experience too. He starts caring about how his actions land on you. If he says he will call, he remembers that it matters. If he knows you had a hard day, he checks in with purpose, not just with lazy curiosity. If there is a gap between you, he feels the need to repair it instead of leaving it there like it is nothing. He begins to think ahead. He begins to ask himself, how will this affect her? How will she feel? What does she need from me here? That is not him losing himself. That is him growing. That is him opening space in his life for another person. And yes, men can still be clumsy while doing this. They are not perfect just because they care, but you will feel the effort. You will see the pattern. You will notice that even if his style is simple, his intention starts becoming clearer. This is why you cannot measure love only by words. Some men speak beautifully and love poorly. Some men say very little and still reveal everything through the way they protect continuity. So pay attention. Is he only available when it suits him, or is he becoming dependable? Is he only warm when he wants access? Or is he warm because he wants closeness? Stay with me, because this one shift alone can save you months, maybe years of confusion if you truly let it sink in. Now somebody will say, what if he is not expressive? What if he just struggles to show emotion? Fair question. Some men are not naturally verbal. Some were raised in homes where softness had no language. Some learned to survive by becoming emotionally tight and careful. That is real. But let me tell you something important. Even a man who is not very expressive becomes more revealing when he is falling in love. He may not write long messages. He may not suddenly become a poet. He may not give dramatic speeches about his heart. But he gets more reliable. He gets more deliberate. He makes sure the connection does not die from neglect. Love always takes form. It becomes choices, it becomes effort, it becomes steadiness. If his feelings never become choices, then what exactly are you holding on to? A vibe, a fantasy, a few emotional highs stitched together by your hope? No, baby, we need more than that. Another clue shows up here too. A man falling in love starts to value your thoughts. He asks what you think. He cares how you see things. He is not only impressed by your beauty or drawn to your energy. He starts respecting your mind. He lets your voice affect him. He takes your advice seriously. He remembers small things you said and brings them back later. Why? Because your inner world is beginning to matter to him. He is not just enjoying your company anymore, he is slowly making room for your influence. And when a man makes room for your influence, you are no longer just passing through his life. You are starting to touch it in a real way. Here is where women have to be very honest with themselves, because chemistry can blind you if you let it. Many women confuse emotional intensity with emotional safety. Those are not the same thing. Just because he makes your heart race does not mean he is good for your heart. Just because the connection feels powerful does not mean it's healthy. A man who is falling in love will not keep feeding confusion while enjoying your loyalty. He will not keep you in a gray zone forever while taking everything a committed woman gives. He will not keep sampling your care without becoming clearer about his own intention. Why? Because when a man begins to truly value you, the cost of losing you becomes more real to him. He does not want to gamble carelessly with something that is starting to matter. That does not mean he becomes perfect overnight. It means he becomes more honest, more present, more willing to define, protect, and strengthen what is growing. And ladies, please hear this next part. If you constantly feel anxious, if you always need to decode silence, if you feel like you are doing emotional detective work just to understand where you stand, that is not a small issue. Your nervous system is picking up something. Your body notices what your fantasy keeps trying to excuse. Stop ignoring the tension in your chest just because he has charm, pain, depth, or a complicated past. Compassion is beautiful. Self-abandonment is not. Let that land. Because too many women keep trying to turn inconsistency into a love story and then wonder why they end up exhausted. Let me say it in a stronger way. A man who is falling in love does not keep auditioning you forever while enjoying full access to your softness, your attention, your loyalty, your emotional labor. No, he may move with care, he may take time, he may even be scared, but he will not remain casual in his behavior if his heart is becoming serious. He starts revealing that seriousness in the little things first. He checks in, he remembers, he circles back. He becomes easier to trust, not harder. He begins to handle your vulnerability like it is something valuable, not something available. And this matters because some of you have been so starved of steady care that simple respect feels extraordinary. Somebody texts back when they said they would, and it feels magical. Somebody notices you were quiet and asks if you are okay, and it feels unbelievable. Somebody considers your schedule, your comfort, your emotions, and suddenly you think you have found a miracle. Baby, that is not a miracle. That is basic consideration. The problem is not that your standards are too high. The problem is that you have gotten used to too little. So let me wake something up in you. Wanting consistency is not asking for too much. Wanting emotional steadiness is not being needy. Wanting clear communication is not being dramatic. You are not too deep. You are not too sensitive. You are not too much. You have simply been around people who wanted easy access to a woman who deserves real character. Big difference. And once you see that difference, it changes everything. Now let us talk about what happens inside his mind when love starts getting stronger, because this part is powerful. A man begins comparing life with you to life without you. He notices how he feels after talking to you. He notices whether your presence gives him peace, whether your honesty sharpens him, whether your warmth softens the hard edges in him. He starts feeling the value of your place in his emotional world. And once that value becomes real, his behavior starts protecting it. This is why a man who is falling in love often becomes more attentive in ways that are not flashy. He remembers details, he asks follow-up questions, he wants to know how the meeting went, how your sister is doing, whether you got home safe, whether that thing you were stressed about worked out. Not because he is trying to impress you every second, but because your reality is starting to live inside his mind. You are no longer just an exciting interruption, you are becoming part of how he thinks. And baby, that is a huge shift. You can fake charm for a weekend, you can fake pursuit for a month, but it is very hard to fake sustained consideration over time. That is why patterns matter more than moments. Anybody can create a magical night. Not everybody can create emotional safety. Anybody can say the right thing when they are afraid to lose access. Not everybody can live in a way that makes you feel secure without constant reassurance. If this message is hitting you, stay with me, because the next part is where discernment becomes your superpower. A wise woman learns to stop overvaluing sparks and start respecting structure. She stops asking, does he feel something? And starts asking, what do his actions build? Does he build trust or does he build confusion? Does he create peace or does he create emotional noise? Does he move like your heart matters or does he only move when his own desire is loud? These are the questions that protect your future, because a man can enjoy you deeply and still not be ready to love you well. That is hard to hear, but it will save you. Attraction does not equal readiness. Passion does not equal maturity. Missing you does not equal choosing you properly. So stop handing out the meaning of commitment before the evidence of commitment arrives. Let consistency lead, let consideration lead, let safety lead, let clarity lead. A man who is truly falling will not need chaos to stay interested. He will not need distance to feel desire. He will not need your uncertainty to feel alive. And if what you have only feels intense when everything is unstable, then you need more truth and less fantasy. Real love does not need constant smoke and mirrors to feel powerful. Sometimes it looks quieter than lust. Sometimes it looks steadier than the movies taught you. But do not mistake steady for boring. Peace is not boring when you have known chaos. Peace is healing. Peace is beautiful. Peace is sleeping through the night because somebody's mixed signals are no longer renting space in your chest. This is also why you must stop doing all the work of emotional interpretation for a grown man. Watch him. Let him reveal his emotional range through his own behavior. Let him show whether he can protect connection without being managed like a child. Let him demonstrate whether he values your peace beyond the moments when he wants something from you. Patience is not weakness when it is joined with discernment. Patience becomes powerful when you are observing honestly instead of fantasizing desperately. And here is another important shift. When a man is really falling, admiration turns into identification. He stops only thinking, she is amazing. He starts thinking, I like who I am when I am with her. That matters more than most women realize. Men attach not only to a woman, but also to the version of themselves they get to become around her. If he feels more grounded with you, more honest, more calm, more purposeful, more alive in the best way, then the bond starts reaching deeper into him. He wants to keep coming back to that feeling. He wants to protect the place where that version of him gets to exist. And once that happens, his actions often become more intentional without you forcing it. He begins to reach more sincerely. He becomes less performative. The mask of detachment gets heavier. The idea of losing the connection becomes more uncomfortable. So yes, he may still move imperfectly, but the direction changes. And direction matters. Do not miss that. Small but steady movement toward care tells you much more than loud words with no follow-through ever could. And I need to say one more thing, because this is where so many women finally get free. Your job is not to convince a man to become more considerate. Your job is to notice whether consideration is naturally rising in him as his feelings deepen. That is a completely different posture. One is chasing, the other is discerning. One drains you, the other protects you. If you have to teach a man every basic way to care, remind him every single time to be thoughtful, beg for steadiness, and shrink your needs so he can stay comfortable, you are not watching love grow. You are doing unpaid emotional labor in a place that may never become safe. And baby, I do not want that for you. The right man will not experience your desire for consistency as punishment. He will experience it as guidance. He may be challenged by it, yes. He may have to grow for it, yes. But he will not run from it if he is truly moving toward love. He will start meeting it. He will start adjusting. He will start showing you that your softness does not need to be hidden to be protected. That is the kind of shift you should look for. Not more butterflies, not more mystery, not more seductive half answers, more congruence, more evidence, more emotional responsibility. If this is helping you see things differently, good. That is the point. We are not here to stay hypnotized by potential. We are here to wake up and read behavior honestly. Because a woman who can read behavior clearly stops getting trapped by beautiful confusion. So let me leave you with this. If a man is falling in love with you, the loudest sign is not his sweetest line, his longest stare, or his most dramatic moment. It is that he becomes consistently considerate. He starts acting like losing your trust would actually cost him something. He starts showing that your emotional well-being matters in his decisions. He starts making the connection easier to trust, not harder to survive. And once you know that, you stop worshipping sparks that burn hot and vanish fast. You stop romanticizing inconsistency just because it comes in attractive packaging. You stop mistaking access for affection and intensity for intention. You begin to expect something deeper, something calmer, something cleaner. A man who is falling does not just want to feel you. He wants to keep you safe inside the connection he is building with you. He wants to know that what is growing between you is not being damaged by his carelessness. That is when love starts moving out of fantasy and into form. So the next time you are tempted to overread a sweet message, pause. The next time you want to call mixed signals a love story, pause. The next time you feel yourself shrinking just to keep a connection alive, pause. Then ask the real question, is he simply giving attention or is he showing consideration? That answer will tell you more than 100 romantic words ever could. And once you see it, really see it, you will never settle for crumbs dressed up like love again. If you want, I can also turn this into a second rewritten version with even stronger viral YouTube pacing while keeping the same meaning and length.